Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This video is the continuation for the quality course training or lecture that actually recorded last week. So I'm going to finish complete the second part of the topic on quality costs. So let me just share the slide for the topic that actually been presented, shared with you. Hopefully you have managed to actually view the video that I've recorded. Now, actually I've completed section 1, which is importance of quality, improvement and cost of quality, and the second section, which is the cost of quality categories and elements. So today I'm going to finish by completing the rest of the sections, which is identifying, collecting, and reporting quality costs, analyzing quality costs, and some quality improvement strategies and action plans. Right. I hope you have understood the different type of cost categories, the prevention costs, the appraisal costs, as well as the failure costs. So having known the basic concepts of or the PF model or the PONC, price of non-conformance. So the next step probably need identification as well as collecting the data and doing improvement activities. Because I've mentioned many times, the most important in quality is about improvement. It's no point collecting data and just keeping it in the shelf or keeping it in the files and not doing any investigation, any actions towards reducing the defects or trying to reduce the particular cost that we have found. So I'll give you 1 or 2 minutes to think about this. This is just a simple exercise. Determine the categories. What is water leak inspection on the production line? So these examples are all related to automotive manufacturing, which I had vast experience. So design review, what is it? Is it prevention? Is it appraisal? Is it failure cause? Obviously, you will know that this is not the failure. It is something that you investigate during. It's a prevention cost. Okay, welding no fusion found at Proton Eda Pasir Gudang. External failure. I've mentioned the first video that the cost of failure is going to be exponentially increased as you go further away from the point of assembly or the point of doing the action. So no fusion, depending on the position of the welding, whether it is the door section or whether it is on the underbody. So welding nut missing found at water leak investigation by QC investigator. So these activities, elements, can be done for any service processes. Wrong amount of check being deposited. Okay, is it external failure, or you found the what we call mistake in the facility? So it can go to banking, it can go to service. So you just determine inspection and so on. Okay, so first determine the categories. Then you want to actually, this is also another example in which you can use this free format to determine the cost element for each category in your place. You don't have to do everything. You can start small. You can do a small portion, a small section of the department or the process, and try to do improvement on that. So if you want to do everything when you start in a project, you won't be able to achieve what you intend for. It will just be just do it, and you will see the impact. So this is an example of a form that can be developed, that can be used in a collection and reporting quality data. So these are the prevention costs. The current month, year to date, internal failure costs. If you don't have data on prevention costs, do it for failures. Failure costs, you can actually collect them easily. Internal failures, external failures. And it must be a system, and you can do baseline data, net sales, direct labor, production, and then ratios, finding ratios, external failure versus against net sales, or operation failure against production costs. And once you have this data, then you can do some analysis. You can, do some statistics, or you can do some trend analysis, or you can do some Pareto analysis. You can do 80-20 rule to find out, 80-20, 80% coming from 20% of item, So this is starting point. So before this was the format, okay? Then collecting the data, or you can have a quality cost summary report for the month ending, in $1,000 of US dollars or $1,000 of ringgit Malaysia. So this is a quality cost summary. That company, right? There's a lot of things that actually exist in the published material, and practitioners, should refer to this and simplify and do according to your abilities. And that's why I said the whole idea is collect data and then do the analysis, do the improvement, monitor the improvement. So I will probably find the time to talk about PDCA, plan, do, check, act cycles, so that you can have an idea of plan, do, check, act, plan, do, check, act, continuously trying to improve processes. So classifying quality costs, is this cost related to prevention of poor quality of products? Yes, it's prevention. If it's no, is the cost related to evaluating the conformance of products or services? Meaning to do some inspection, some checking, some testing. If it is yes, then it's appraisal. If it is not prevention or appraisal, then it must be related to something which is not cost related to non-conforming product or service. And if it is yes, you have to ask the question whether you found it before shipment or after. If it is before, then internal. Then if it is after shipment, that is external failure cost. So it is failure cost. Either it occurs internally or externally. And of course, if it is not related to any of this, so it's not a quality cost. Now, so this is the 1:10 ratio 100 rule. Okay, so for the amount of every single dollar that you spend on prevention will result into $10 of correction, and will result into $100 failure costs being able to be detected or prevented. Okay, so you will. So this is basically the amount of. It's just a guide. Okay, just a guide. So 1 unit spent on prevention will save 10 units on appraisal and will save 100 units on failure costs. So $1 spent on prevention. So imagine the amount of money that you actually put into prevention. That's why prevention is better than cure. So you proactively prevent problems, or you think how problem can happen. So there's another tool which is called FMEA, Failure Mode Effect Analysis. So that is also another tool that can be used in conjunction with quality costs or even quality improvement activities. So this helps to prioritize expenditure on prevention. Okay. So the earlier you detect and prevent a defect, the more you can save. That's why I said that, if you can detect early, if you catch a 2-cent resistor before you use it and throw it away, you lose 2 cents. If you find it has been soldered into a computer component, you will cost you $10 to repair the part. If you don't catch the component until it's in the computer user's hand, the customer, the repair will cost $100. Okay. So indeed, if a $5,000 computer has to be repaired in the field, the expense may exceed the manufacturing cost. This is what I mean by exponential increase in cost as you go further and further away from the point in which you actually detect and prevent that defect or that problem from happening. This concept applies to all, not only for products, for services as well, for human life as well. You know, if you can prevent your body from sickness, you will prevent costly surgery to be done to you. So think about it. Okay, think about it. Right. So this third section is very clear, simple. You know, you need to identify, you need to collect the information and the cost. You don't have to collect, you know, a precise cost. If you don't have an exact quantity amount in dollars, you need to put up some assumptions and give it a cost so that you can actually, do the activities. Okay, so the most important is to identify, collect the data. Okay, if you do not collect the data or the data on quality cost, then we cannot go to the next stage, which is actually analyzing the quality cost data. So you do quality cost analysis, you have to have a quality cost report. Okay, I showed you just now the simple form for control purposes to establish budget and to look variances. You can do trend analysis. You can compare cost levels to past levels by cost categories, by product, by indices, or by plants in the corporation. Different plants have different level of cost. For example, you look at product A. This is external, internal appraisal. This is prevention. This is product B. You can compare between products according to different cost category, or you can look at different timelines, quarters, and see the returns, the external failure, the return product, the warranty claims. Okay, you can see this is an increase, there's a decrease, and compare with dollar sales, and other type of costs. Or by index, this is production percentage, direct labor cost, man hour sales. You can see the direct labor cost against production percentage. Or you can look at percent non-conformance, assembly area. This is the quality. This is the quality performance, and rework cost as a percentage of total quality cost. So this is internal failure cost. If you want to start the project just focusing on internal failure cost, yeah, fine, no problem. You can always, decide what's best for the institution or for the organization. As long as you have data, you have records of how much you are spending or how much losses you are actually producing. So that's trend analysis. Second one is actually using Pareto analysis. So you can analyze quality cost by Pareto analysis. You can analyze according to different categories, by different department, by different product lines, by cost incurred to determine performance. Or even you can look at incoming inspection data or cost and data and convert that into cost or other things. Okay, so you can, for example, if you have collected this data, 10 types of defects using both frequency and cost, you can construct a Pareto diagram. So this I ask the attendees to construct a Pareto diagram and see. Obviously, you can see highest to lowest, but you need the analysis. And of course, today you can use Excel, you can use software, and use all other tools. But the most important is to know what type of analysis that is required. Then we can take actions. In Pareto, the Pareto principle is like this: you must categorize, you can rank which is the highest. Then this become the improvement program. Okay, it can be in terms of innovative and creative circles. It can become quality improvement projects. Okay, quality improvement teams. Okay, so the most important thing is having the data and then analyzing it using simple tools for simple problems. Of course, you know, I mentioned you can have FMEA, you can have other tools to actually uh, support and also do it together. Um, so you want to make comparisons with other companies. It is difficult when you analyze quality costs or even performance. You optimize individual categories, failure cost optimize when no identify a profitable project to reduce them. So once you reach a bit, you know, optimize means saturated level. But from my own experience, failure costs will always be there, and it is for us to improve and make it as small as possible. So you want to analyze the relationship between the different cost categories. So there is a theory behind this. There is some thinking that if you improve quality, you can reach 100% conformance, and if do activities that can reduce failure cost until zero. So there is a relationship between prevention, appraisal, and what you call failure cost. Okay, so it's called the total quality cost curve. If you increase quality, your quality cost will go down, but 100% cost may become infinity. So you need to balance. So this is what we call the balance between prevention and appraisal costs. This is something that you need to spend money here. Of course, this is losses. Your failure is your negative cost. Theoretically, okay, you can optimize where total cost prevention appraisal equals internal failure. So this is your so-called target conformance. But in total quality management, target is should be 100%. But this is management just wants to know what is the optimum cost when analyzing quality costs. Of course, it's something that is difficult to specify. It's a theoretical technique. Okay, so the top curve is actually the total cost line. Total cost line. So in this case, it's around 92%, 95%. So this is also another way of looking at the total cost, total quality cost. This is the cost of internal and external failure, and mentioned just now, cost of prevention will increase as you spend more. The quality performance. It's a theoretical model to balance between cost of failure and cost of prevention and preserve. Okay, is it necessary to go for zero defects? Yes, it is important because perfection is actually achievable. Imagine if you say that your process is 99.9% conformance, which is there will be one error or one defect or one mistake for every 1,000 parts or process that you complete. So I don't want to have this system in which it is 99.9% conformance, which actually equals 60,000 pieces of lost mail every hour, 500 failed surgical operations, and I don't want to fly in an airplane or or even airports which have two unsafe airplane landings. You know, if you operate on one error in 1,000, 99.9%. So it leads to Six Sigma, 3.4 part per million opportunities of defect, which virtually is zero defects. When an organization with Six Sigma, it's almost zero defect, no defect. Okay, so but it is a thinking. It is something that can be achieved through continuous improvement. And comparison, you need to compare before improvement and after improvement. So the benefit is the total cost for poor quality will definitely reduce if you do proper improvement. Okay, finally, quality improvement strategies and action plans that is required. So the improvement strategy, these are the guiding principles, which is you must believe that all failures has root cause or have root cause. So to find the root cause, you need to answer 5 why. Okay, and investigation, do thorough analysis. Number 2, problems, there is problem, there is root cause, and causes are preventable. And prevention is cheaper than cure. Okay, and it must be based on these 3 principles. The possible strategy is to reduce failure costs by problem solving. So the initial beginning project for improvement can focus on low-hanging fruits. Failure cost is very easy to be detected and costed and improved. So that's the first possible strategy. And then invest in the right prevention activities. Secondly, you want to find which prevention activities will have the highest impact towards reducing your failure costs or even your defects, warranties, and so on. Remember, internal and external failure costs. And try to reduce appraisal costs where appropriate. You don't want to keep on increasing the inspection. So I don't believe in an organization saying we produce high quality, we have 100% inspection. No, 100% inspection is after the fact. Okay, but obviously for functional related components, brake tests, of course you need 100% inspection. I'm talking about especially appearance defects, aesthetics. So this doesn't require 100% inspection. And you have to continuously evaluate and redirect prevention effort to gain further improvement. So you reduce failure costs. I mentioned that failure detect early operations is cheaper to solve, exponentially increase as you go away from the process. Target excellent failure for improvement because this will increase customer satisfaction. Customers will complain about things which are failing to their product. Okay, so immediately customers will be able to identify the difficulty in. Recently, I bought a microphone and I had difficulty trying to install it. I think it is not user friendly. Anyway. So the project team must concentrate finding root cause of problem. Trace back to purchasing, design, trace back to the process, trace back to the place in which the assembly is taking place. Look at the variables of human, material, method, inspection system, and so on. So when cause determined, develop corrective action to follow and limit problem, follow-up activities. So the problem with us is that when we find a problem and the solution, we do not standardize it. Standardize, this, for example, welding defects. Welding conditions can be standardized to many places and many similar welding conditions. So standardize. But of course, standardize doesn't mean that it is standardized forever and ever. Whenever you find a new issue, you need to come out with new standards, new SOPs, continuously improving and finding newer solutions. Invest in the right preventive activities. So this is also important. Product verification programs, good reliability testing methods, design verification, design review, and so on. First, supplier selection, reliability testing, QFD. I have a video on QFD. You can look at how to think from quality function deployment perspective, voice of customer. So quality improvement, looking from quality cause, and then finding out the causes of the failures or the problems or the market issues. Conduct training and testing on employees. So these are some of the things that you need to be careful of. Review current appraisal activity. Is 100% inspection necessary? Can inspection station be combined, relocated, or eliminated? Are inspection methods efficient? Okay. So you can if you want the slides, I can send it to you. Okay, you can just put down in the comments, and this is the final slide. So you can think about different categories and think whether the process. At the end of the day, also we have to think about adding value. Value, does it add value? Is it waste to the organization, to the company? Is it cost to the organization rather than investment? Prevention is investment. You better spend on prevention rather than wasting money on solving and also rectifying external failures that occur in products. And it works well for service organization as well. Quality costs can be studied for banking sector, for healthcare sector, hospitals, for all other industries. It is, finding what is the customer complaint failing the customers, complaining customers, reduce it, and continuously trying to find better ways of doing it, increasing our customer satisfaction. And at the end of the day, it's about competition, and you'll be able to meet customer expectation continuously, and you can improve and reduce your costs. Okay, reduce your costs. So you can refer to these books, for further details on, like how to construct Pareto and so on. Okay, so I think that is my sharing today. I hope it will be beneficial. If you have any comments, please write in the comments. And also, if you have any other suggestions for things that you want to know, please comment as well. And if you want to subscribe and follow, it's all up to you. I'm here to share a little bit of knowledge, inshallah, and hopefully it is of benefit to many of you out there. That's all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.